What's up, guys? This is David here. This is Jailbreak Weekly, episode number 39. I am joined by my lovely co-host, Mr. Justin Whack. What's going on, Justin?
Not too much, I apologize for my audio quality. This podcast was kind of put together short notice, so I didn't have time to put my studio back together because it is currently majorly dismantled. But yeah, not too bad. Random side note, if you guys want to interact with us, you can do so in the chat if you're watching this live. You can mention us on Twitter at JB_weekly, or you can use the hashtag JailbreakLive on Twitter.
Awesome. And next, we have our next co-host, Mr. Andy Hoff. What's up?
Not much. I'm glad to be recording. I missed you guys last week.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yes.
I'm really surprised Justin didn't comment that I put him first.
I've kind of just come to accept that there's going to be those times where I'm first and there's going to be those times where I'm not. But,
Okay.
That's what maturity feels like.
Yeah, there
That's
you
what
go.
being an adult is.
But I still get mad when you put me last. So
Yeah, that's why I was like, all right, I wanna make this easy. I'll put him first. Well, anyway, guys, we got a decent chunk of things to talk about today.
Definitely. Yeah.
yeah, we got quite a bit. Yeah.
Healthy amount. So, David, do you want to bring us into our first topic?
I guess so. All right.
Okay.
So,
Wait. Hold up. The views and opinions of these people on this podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of Jailbreak Weekly. There we go.
Yes.
There
you
is
go.
your disclaimer for the day. So, I mean, I don't know. This is going to be an interesting topic. So, if you're standing up, you might want to sit down. If you're sitting down, stay seated because it's going to be a very interesting few minutes here. So,
Yeah.
what's been going on, David?
okay, so basically what happened was iOS Blocks is this jailbreak tweak that's been around for a long time at this point now. It first got teased by this guy whose name escapes me, Matt something. I don't remember his last name. Keep forgetting it. But anyway, basically that was his original idea. The code was open sourced, and it was never actually finished and released to the public. So Creatix, who is a team that has released a bunch of jailbreak tweaks in the past, I think Hoppin was one of theirs.
Quick Center.
Quick Center was also another one, and I think there might have been a few more, but they're pretty well known in terms of tweak development. So basically, they picked up the project and they've started to work on it, and because they've started to work on it, they have teased a couple of things on Twitter. Now, a couple of these teasers had some stuff kind of mixed in there. And the things that were mixed in there were, there was a blue button. There was like a blue icon next to Cydia, blue dot, which I tried to say dot, but for some reason that didn't, whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so blue dot next to Cydia, which, if you've been keeping up with the news with ENMTW, ages ago, and Luca, him saying, like, he can't be fake because he's got that blue dot, and he had that when he jailbroke. So,
Yeah,
the
not
blue
Jailbroke
dot,
9.3.
Yeah.
It's these teasers that always have the blue dots.
Right. So, the blue dot kind of, I guess, shows a little bit of legitimacy. Like, that's how you kind of make people think, okay, maybe he's got something because there's a blue dot there. But basically, they released a bunch of, like, teaser videos talking about iOS blocks, but a lot of people weren't focused on iOS blocks. A lot of people were focused on these subtle things that were put in there on purpose, indicating that maybe they had a 9.3 jailbreak. So
Exactly.
there was a blue dot in Cydia. There was night shift, but it's not just like the night shift, toggle that, because I'd seen there was a tweak that was out that was, I don't remember exactly what it was, but there's a tweak that was out that basically put the toggle in Control Center. But this is like night shift to the T. Like, this is exactly...
It looks native.
This is exactly what it is from iOS 9.3 and up. So because they showed that, and to, it looked 100% native, because of that, everybody just assumed that it had to have been a 9.3 jailbreak or something. So I guess, I mean, I don't know. Here's what happened with me. What happened with me was I was streaming on Periscope, like I often do with my Jailbreak Busters account. And what happened was one of the devs actually joined my stream and was watching me review these teasers, because at this point I had no idea whether it was real, fake, whatever. And I was just like, I don't know, this seems really interesting. I mean, these guys obviously aren't actual jailbreak developers like Pangu, Taiji, whatever. They're jailbreak tweak developers, obviously.
So they're security researchers. They're not actually security researchers.
Security, that's what I meant by that, yeah. They're not security researchers. They're jailbreak tweak developers. There's a clear-cut difference between the two of them. Now, it's not to say, and that's what I made a good point on Twitter in saying, you know, it's been like 7 or so months since we've seen a public one for everybody to use besides the 9.1 jailbreak that came out by Pangu. Excluding that, it's been a decent amount of time. So maybe if they already had a few people that kind of knew what they were doing, maybe they brushed up on, you know, some of that and they were able to piece some things together. I don't know. I thought maybe there could have been a way. But anyway, so he joined my stream and he hit me up on Twitter and basically said, here's what's going on. What's going on is that this is basically, we're setting this up. This isn't a real jailbreak. We don't have a real 9.3 jailbreak, no 9.3.x, whatever. It's not real. These are all custom-made tweaks that we have. Basically, he said, and this is where, I mean, I admire the dedication to this. He said, I spent like 3 days without any sleep just making sure that to the exact, it like completely resembled 9.3 and up. And so their reasoning for this is that they wanted to, again, teach, because this isn't the first time it's happened, teach the jailbreak community a lesson of you shouldn't trust everybody that's saying that they've got something. So
I just have an issue with this entire situation because, yes, it's maybe, okay, he's claiming it's a lesson. To be honest, I don't really buy it when people say that kind of thing because if you're trying to teach the community a lesson, I feel like doing this is only going to create unnecessary drama and hope. It's just, it's not the way to teach a lesson, to get people's hopes up and then, you know, let them down. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I'm just extremely, I'm in agreement with Andy here where I'm not, look, there's some things that I agree with. Like, for example, I know, David, you were saying off air that, and they posted a post on Reddit saying that the proceeds that they make from these custom tweaks that they were actually showing off are going to charity. So that's...
Yes.
And that is something that I am very impressed with. I'm very impressed that they are donating that to charity, and, you know, that's fantastic. But what I'm very unimpressed by is the fact that they basically trolled the community and said, hey, we're doing a fake... Or we're gonna make a fake jailbreak, and we're gonna tell these people, oh yeah, we have a jailbreak, Like, the community has been so on edge for the past 7 months because of this.
I'll agree.
Like, because of all these fake jailbreaks. I have a big problem with that. Yeah. And I'm not ashamed to go on public record and say that I'm getting extremely sick of all of these fake jailbreaks. And
I agree.
All of these, like, it's really, and I don't like the direction the community is going. Like, when there's a real jailbreak out, people will know that it's real. Like, the way I look at it is treat every single jailbreak as fake unless you can physically download it and can physically jailbreak your device. If people are releasing concepts and all that, that doesn't mean anything. The only thing that means anything is the actual jailbreak itself.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this whole... And look, I respect what they're doing with charity, like I said, but I'm not a fan of the fact that they basically trolled the community.
So there's like a few things. So yes, they are donating their proceeds from this jailbreak tweak to charity, but that still doesn't it still doesn't change the fact that they're, you know, essentially lying. That's just what it is. That's not right. And even if they are trying to teach the community a lesson, there's always going to be new members coming into the jailbreak community, and not everyone's going to see your lesson. It's not like you're going to fix the problem with one quote-unquote lesson. It's the issue is just people being uneducated, which is fine. You know, there's a lot of new people, So it's not going to fix it. And even if you were going to try to fix it, this is not the way to do it.
Well, and my issue as well is the jailbreak community can't grow from this stuff. This is the kind of thing that people don't want to have happen. And so this is the
Right.
kind of thing that is going to scare people away because new people are going to be like, oh man, this is full of drama. I don't want to deal with this. This is what is going to make the community have issues and not grow and gradually lose people.
Well, what I
And
thought
I know
was,
it
yeah,
makes me frustrated personally.
right.
It just
What I,
makes me angry and
right.
Right,
What I
go,
thought
go
was
ahead.
interesting is a lot of their posts that they highlighted in the post on Reddit was, we're trying our best to like make sure that all this in recent months there's been a huge downfall in the community, especially on Reddit, with a lot of people just believing everything. So we're trying to make it so that, this downfall doesn't happen anymore. But to be honest, I kind of agree with you guys. I think it might have potentially made things worse, and I don't think
Definitely made things
it's
worse.
not going to go away.
That's what I think.
I'll say that.
no,
I've agreed. I'm going to go on record and say I agree with a lot of the Reddit comments that have been said. Whereas they've been saying like, this isn't going to go away. It is what it is. This is how our community gets when we haven't had a jailbreak for 7 months that everybody
Yeah.
can use. It's gonna happen because there are people that are in this community that are very, young and that just do whatever. And it's
yes,
just,
but and I understand that, but at the same time, there are people who are trolling the community extremely hard, and I
yeah,
don't want to name names, um, but it also makes me very upset that people say, "Oh, I hate the jailbreak community. I don't want to be a part of the jailbreak community." And I saw this on Twitter the other day, and it was a good point that someone brought up, and they said, you have people saying, "Oh, I hate the jailbreak community," and all this kind of stuff, and they make their own jailbreaks, and yet they interact with members of the community. Like,
right.
this is
That was actually
why
me that said that, as a
that
matter
was.
of fact.
Oh, that was you. That was you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was kind
yeah.
of
I
just
think
looking at
you
Twitter.
said that in iMessage. Yeah,
I texted it to you guys in iMessage. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's true. Like and this is why again, I know this is really ironic coming from us, as we did interview Ian MTW, but like this is where giving this stuff attention sometimes is it can be both a good and a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like I understand why it's important to give this stuff attention, but please, if it has ever crossed your mind to troll the community and say that you have a fake
don't do it.
jailbreak,
Don't do it.
don't. Please, just
Yeah,
just save everyone wasted time. Do something productive. Go outside, play a ball game or something. I don't care. I don't care. Like go outside and play catch with yourself. I don't care. Just don't troll the freaking community. It's
And
Yeah.
even if
not
you do have a real
necessary.
jailbreak, I think yes, it's your right to post videos of it if you have it, and it's real. But again, like you just said, Justin, what really bothers me is the fact that they nonstop talk about the jailbreak community, interact with the jailbreak community.
right.
If they supposedly hate it, then why are they spending all of their
All
time
their time on it.
bad mouthing it? And again, I'm
Yeah.
talking about some people who are teasing real jailbreaks
Right.
here.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
and if you have a real jailbreak and you show it off, like good for you. If you don't want to use it, and this is the other thing though too, is I think that a lot of people who have real jailbreaks catch a lot of flack because they don't release them and they show them off
Exactly.
on YouTube and they don't release
Exactly.
them. But the way I see it is, look, if I make a jailbreak, it's mine to do with what I want. If I don't want to
Exactly.
release it, I don't have to
Exactly.
release it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing with ENMTW is I honestly believe that he had maybe not a jailbreak put together, but he had exploits, and I believe that
Right.
he sold those exploits. And because of that, I think that it's a little more credible to interview someone like him, where it was a legit jailbreak. But the point is that these fake jailbreaks they have to stop. They need to stop, and so that's basically I think that the moral of this story is that they really need to
Yep.
just stop. I don't care what kind of lesson you're trying to teach the community. It's not helping. Like
Right.
it's not helping at all.
So there are good things that came out of this actually, which is I think the next thing we should talk about. The good things that came out of this is CP Digital Darkroom is actually releasing the back port of Night Shift, the one that they showed off in the videos. they are actually releasing that. I don't know if it's going to be paid or not, along with iOS blocks, of course, but that's going to be released. And also,
Yeah, that should be an awesome tweak.
Yeah. Also, another tweak that I actually came up with. I'm so excited for it. It's going to be so great. It's called, it's going to kill me. I think it's called iPatch. I think that's what it's called.
iPatch, yeah, that
That's what
sounds
he named
right.
it. iPatch. Yeah. So it's really awesome because I've been asking for a mute button for Periscope from literally anybody that can, write code, developers, whatever. A lot of people have just not had the time to do it, which is understandable because you have you have like a real life. So every
That's a
developer,
cool idea,
has to,
being able to
yeah.
mute when you're in the middle of a Periscope. So if you're a heavy Periscoper, I could really see that. So I'm looking forward to that.
And that's me. Yeah, and that's why I wanted that so badly. And every time there was an update for Periscope, I was like, why aren't you guys including a mute button? Like, what is wrong with you?
So do you know, David, when this is going to hit Cydia?
No clue, but estimate.
Okay.
If I were to estimate, I would say probably next few weeks or so. It doesn't seem like it's that difficult. I think there are a few aspects of it they just have to research a bit more and polish it up. And there are some icons that need to be made, but I think...
I'd be happy to do the graphic design, dude.
Yeah. I'll let them know.
Okay, yeah. Creatix, shout out to Creatix if you're listening to this. I'm blind. I would love to do your graphic design. Hit me up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway,
I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, what this tweak does besides the mute button is there's also an option where you can also, so it's kind of like Skype / any other video type thing where you can hide your camera, you can mute the audio. I just had thought about it when I was like, I wanted a mute button. He made it for me. I was like, is there any way you can cut off the video feed as well? So if there's something you don't want to show, you can do that.
Oh,
that's
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an option. Also, filters, I guess, eventually will be a thing. So like black and white and like infrared and a bunch of other things. I do have like a black and white version of it actually that I was using on stream yesterday. So for reference, you can drop the stream in the show notes, Andy, if you want to. But yeah, so
okay.
I mean, it's kind of cool just to look at it. Also, I think the chat history goes for longer and it doesn't disappear and a bunch of other stuff like that. It's going to be super awesome tweak.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be free or paid or not. At this point, I'm not really sure. In the coming weeks, though, obviously we'll know more about it. But I wanted to just come on here and talk about it because I'm super pumped and super excited for this tweak.
Awesome. So, with that being said, I think we should move on to some of our news items. So, iOS 9.3.2, we talked about this last week. It was released recently. However, it was also pulled for the 9.7-inch iPad Pro.
Yeah.
Because
Wait,
it was
has the
actually
download window closed to 9.3.1 yet? Or is it still
I don't
think
believe so.
No,
I'm going to double
it
check
hasn't.
right now.
I don't think it has.
I'm surprised it's lasted this
it's been a
long,
while.
actually. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe they wanted to at least make it so the window didn't close at least until they had an update. They reissued 9.3.2 for the iPad
Exactly.
9.7.
Yeah.
So basically they pulled it for that device, essentially because it was bricking on updates.
Yeah,
and
note
devices.
to self, always back up before you do an update.
Big time. Yeah, so essentially they reissued it and it fixes the issue. So now 9.3.2 is the latest firmware. However, in a unexpected turn of events, Apple also pushed out 9.3.3 beta 1.
Unexpected.
Well, it's just
I wouldn't
beta
call
1.
that unexpected, Andy, but I would definitely say that it's annoying.
Yeah.
Annoying and expected because I was laughing on Twitter about it, saying how I predicted it like months ago. But
I know, yeah. So we thought 9.3.2 was going to be the last version of iOS 9. However, Apple seeded a new firmware, and there's no apparent fixes that are that you could see, or in the changelog. There's no real there's nothing specifying what exactly it's fixing. However, we're just assuming that's fixing things behind the scenes and just minor bug fixes and whatnot. But
right, so here's my theory. So 9.3.2 is the latest firmware right now. WWDC is June 13th. iOS 10 Beta 1 is going to drop for
June
developers
13th, realistically.
June 13th.
Oh man, you know what I really
So,
hope? I really hope
what?
iOS 10 has iPhone 4S support because that's my beta testing device, and
Yeah.
like, then
I
I
don't
have to
think
get a
it
new
will.
beta testing
I don't
device,
know.
and that's gonna make me sad.
Well, it's interesting because I think it was, this last update for 9, should have been phased out, but they chose to support every device. So I don't know. It really depends what Apple has up their
I
sleeve.
think
for
I might
10.
just use my 6 as a beta testing device,
Yeah.
and instead
That's
of
a good
keeping
idea.
it on 8,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, eight's pointless. At this
I'm
point.
Yeah.
keeping my 5S on 7. That thing is nostalgic, but like my 6. For those wondering, I have devices from iOS 5 all the way up to iOS 9. So I've got one on 5, one on 6, one on 7, one on 8, one on 9. It's kind of just this obsession thing that I have. And I'm working on downgrading 1 to 4 actually.
There you go.
There
I'm
you
working
go.
on downgrading 1 to 4, and then I'll have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's just like a weird hobby that I have, and I enjoy.
Yeah.
You know what? That's pretty
I used
cool.
to be like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
used to
wish
like
I
that.
still had my 5 on 9.0. So that I could enjoy
Oh
like a
man,
jailbreak again.
yeah, no, I know. Well, yeah, I know it's tough, but I think that I'm excited. I'm actually really excited for iOS 10 though, because I feel like
Yeah, I
iOS
can't
10
wait.
is kind of
Yeah.
like a fresh, new. Honestly, like
Just something
out
new.
of the just something different. Like even if it's
Yeah.
not a jailbreak, at least it's
Exactly.
something.
Right.
Like,
Well, okay, so I wanted to go back to what I was saying. So, iOS 10 Beta 1 is going to release June 13th. We know that for a fact because
Do we?
WWDC... Okay, we don't know that for a fact, but we're like 99.999%
Okay, yeah,
sure.
okay.
Because
Fair.
literally every single year, the
Yeah.
new beta drops on June 13th, or not June 13th, whenever WWDC is, that day it drops. So, most likely, when June 13th rolls around, WWDC day, iOS 10 Beta 1 will drop, most likely. So, here's my theory. iOS 10 Beta 1, June 13th, will drop for developers. So, what's going to happen is, iOS 9.3.3, I don't know if... What I'm guessing is, if they release another beta, it's just going to be one more beta. And then what they're going to do is, in addition to releasing iOS 10 Beta 1, they're going to release 9.3.3 to the public.
To the public. That's true because exactly there technically should have been a beta this week if they were going to do a weekly
Yeah,
schedule,
no,
but
there
there
should've.
wasn't. So
So that leads me to believe
That's
that
possible.
this is probably... I mean, they've done it differently before. Like, they skipped a week or two and then they made another beta. So, I don't know. It's, like, kind of inconsistent sometimes with Apple. You don't really know what they're going to do. So, they could come out with a beta 2, like, a few days from now, next week, whenever, before WWDC. But definitely 9.3.3 should be coming out June 13th to everybody.
And the reason we're talking about this on Jailbreak Weekly is because a lot of people seem to believe that Apple's current firmware influences the release of jailbreak, and it does occasionally. Like, some jailbreak teams are known to wait for a stable, long-lasting firmware before releasing a jailbreak. So some out there do believe that Pengu or Taiji, whoever is going to release a jailbreak, is waiting for the last iOS 9 version. That could be true, but we've also seen spontaneous things. So we'll just have to see, honestly. But again, the current status is 9.3.2 is out. It is stable for all devices, and we're just awaiting 9.3.3 at this point.
Yeah.
All right. So do you guys want to jump into some tweaks?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sweet, awesome. So first up, we have Proton. This one's available for $1.99. This is essentially a mini. It's another mini player Cydia tweak. So
Another one.
yeah.
Sorry, I had to do that.
Yeah. So we talked about Tiny Player a couple of weeks ago, which essentially did the same thing. It provided you with a little window that floats around on your screen. You could drag it on anywhere on your screen, a home screen, in apps, and it essentially allows you to control your music.
There was one by Shernix, right? At one point.
There's an old one called Mini Player, and then
That
there's
hasn't been
one
updated.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
By the way, Cyrenix, I'm not sure if you guys knew this, Cyrenix is working on another app, eh?
I did
he
hear
is?
about that. It's a
didn't-
Twitter client.
It's a Twitter client, yeah.
Oh,
it's,
I did hear about that. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Leaf, I
yeah.
believe. I think So yeah, Cernix is working on that. So
I can't
I
wait to
think he
get my
said
hands
that's
on
coming
that.
out. That's gonna be coming out soon, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about that. So
Hey, you know what I'm wondering? I mean, obviously it's not like a jailbreak related thing, but maybe he might do like he might release the app during JailbreakCon. I don't know. Maybe.
it's
I don't
possible.
know.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. We shall see about that. But Proton, back to Proton. It's a mini player tweak. This one's a little bit different than some of the other ones because it's essentially displays in a square format. And basically how it works is it shows the album artwork of the music that you're currently listening to. If you tap and hold, it expands, and then you have play, pause, backwards, forwards controls. So essentially, you could just minimize it and maximize it by tapping and holding, and it gets a little smaller, a little bigger. And of course, again, you could drag it free floating around your screen, control your music. So essentially, the only real differentiator between this and Tiny Player is this is a different design. It's just kind of square, and it showcases the album artwork in a little bit more of a large, flashy way. And I do like this one for that reason because you get to see the album artwork. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys like these mini player tweaks?
I do. How much is this?
It's $1.99.
As opposed to how about the other ones that we've talked about?
Tiny Player is free. It's Tiny Player Lite,
Okay.
so the Lite version is free,
The
obviously.
light version. Okay. So, and we're talking about. Okay, we're not talking about the same one. All right.
Yeah, we're talking about Proton now.
Okay. So, I mean, does it have a better design? I haven't actually seen it, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I like it. It's again, it's as opposed to like mini player and tiny player, both have like a rectangle design.
This one's
That
different.
yeah, that showcases. I would say the focus of it is the title of the song, the
Okay.
artist, and this is more the focus is on the album artwork because again,
Okay.
there's a mode when it just shows the album artwork, and then if you tap and hold, it expands. The album artwork gets bigger, and then it shows you your play, pause, skip controls as well. So it's kind of hard to explain, but it's really cool.
See, I know personally, I'd rather have the title. I'd rather take the
Yeah.
title of the song. But when I'm looking at it, but who knows? Like I'm not really one to comment on graphics too much, which is why I'm not a huge fan of these mini player tweaks. Just because, like, for me, my music is so easily accessible in Control Center or go to my music app that it's like there's no real need. Or like if I'm wearing headphones, which I usually am, I can go to the next or previous track with my headphones or like that kind of thing. So I don't know. For me, I don't see a huge need for these. But if you're someone who's really into the looks of how your phone looks and all that kind of stuff, I can see why this would be appealing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And I have this installed. It's probably not going to be something I keep because I'm generally not one for these either. I just prefer to use Control Center because it's simpler. But again, out of all of them, I really like this one the most. It works as advertised too, so I can't really complain.
Yeah, and that's always good when it does that, right? So
Yeah, because
Right.
there are some tweaks out there that simply don't work as advertised, and that's definitely worth
yeah,
noting.
yeah.
Also, one last thing, you could actually dock it on the side, so you could like throw it to the side of the screen, and it kind of like pops over, and it's like it has this nice, just like little hidden, subtle way of
Ooh.
displaying itself. So
Seems
that's a
interesting.
plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a feature that Mini Player had, but Tiny Player didn't have, so that's another benefit of this. But once again, $1.99. It's called Proton. It's another Mini Player tweak with a different design that's more focused on album artwork. Okay, so next up, we have Volume Panel. This one's available for $1.49. And this allows you to control the volume of your applications individually. So essentially, you could set a default volume for different apps on your device. So when you're
Ooh.
in, let's say, the music app, you could have your volume set to, let's say, a full blast. And then maybe you're in YouTube and you can only have it set to like 30% or somewhere around there. So how it works is you open up Control Center, and then you tap this little switches button that appears there, and then the music section is replaced by all these little dials or these little sliders, and you can essentially just set the default volume for pretty much every app on your device. So you could just scroll to the left and right, and there's like little dials for basically every app. So it's really cool. Like, again, for example, let's say when you listen to music, you always want it full blast, but maybe when you're watching a YouTube video, you want it at halfway. So you could set that to automatically happen. So it's a really cool tweak. It's very innovative. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, this is impressive. I have to say I'm
Definitely.
quite impressed by this. Um, Definitely something I would consider using for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I would use it, but it is very impressive and it makes a lot of sense. What about you, David?
I mean, it seems interesting. A lot of these tweaks that it's like it modifies a few things, changes a few things. Look, I don't use my iPod that much. If it's
Well,
something
I
that
mean,
substantial where I could see myself using it like without having to use my device a lot, like if it was okay,
yeah.
if my iPhone was jailbroken, I would probably use this. But because my only device is my iPod, a lot of times when these tweaks come up, I'm like, like I could use it. I'm probably not going to, just because it's like I don't use my iPod enough to be able to justify using this. Is what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
Right.
you know what? I could definitely see the use case for this. Like, especially if you don't like an app's sounds, you could turn it down or like,
Yeah. Maybe you still want them there, but you don't want them so loud for certain apps.
yeah, like I think this has some.
Oh, sorry about that. That was my Proton interface
That was
popping
your
up. So
that was your Proton
I
interface
accidentally
popping
hit play. So sorry about that.
up. Yeah, but I think that overall, very impressive and definitely something I would consider using.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And once again, it's called a volume panel. It's available for $1.49. I just want to give a shout out to the developer just because tweaks like this, it does something different and really useful. It's
Yeah,
not like it's not like a rehashing of a tweak that we've seen like 40 times, which we seem to see lately a lot. So it's a new original idea, and I gotta hand it to TweakWiz for that.
yeah, hats off, definitely.
oh, this is a tweak whiz. Tweak whiz has been doing quite a few nice
Yeah,
tweaks lately.
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, he's one of my new favorite jailbreak tweak developers for sure. Absolutely. All right, so next up we have DarkGBoard. This one's free. And
Does this do
this
what I think it does with this
possibly,
with this Google keyboard that I keep
yeah,
hearing about? Oh
yeah, pretty
boy.
much. So essentially, Google released a new keyboard in the App Store recently, which is
You have to
actually
get
really
your
cool.
tinfoil hat out, Andy.
I know. I'm usually one to complain about Google because their privacy settings, but this is a really cool
Yeah.
keyboard. Like it
Too
has,
late. I already got my tinfoil hat out. So
he beat me to it. But it is a really cool keyboard. Like it has the swipe gestures from Android phones. You know how you could do that? You could like
Yeah.
form words, and then there's a bunch of other features. Like there's a bunch of search options in there. But essentially, the keyboard is white by default, and there's no real option to change that. However, this tweak, DarkGBoard, essentially just provides it with a darker theme, and it makes it look a lot more like an Android keyboard in the sense that the key, like the key individual little sections that show up, like when you're looking at, for example, the Q key, the W key, like how there's a little border around it. It essentially removes the border and turns it into this dark, sleek theme. And again, it's dark, so it just makes it a little bit sleeker and a little bit more resemblant of Android. And I gotta say, I do prefer this look over the normal look of the keyboard.
I haven't even
Yeah.
really seen. I mean, I've kind of seen it, but I haven't actually used it just because it's Google. Um, but and also, I'm okay with this. Besides the GIF keyboard, which I use literally all the time, I'm just okay with the default keyboard. I don't really care about like the ones where you can like with the Android esque kind of things where you can slide and have you can just like do a bunch of stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. To be honest, before this tweak came out, I hadn't downloaded the Google Keyboard. I'd been meaning to, and you gotta say, now that I've downloaded it, I just like it for what it is. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really huge on third-party
yeah.
keyboards.
See, I have no need for like that Google keyboard. Like I just
Yeah,
the way it's set up with VoiceOver, I actually type everything out in Braille. So
I got you.
I can use Braille screen input on my iPhone, so I can type on the screen in Braille. So I don't really use any keyboards. Like I don't use the emoji keyboard. I have the French Canada and French France keyboards because I'm learning to speak French right now. Um,
Nice. Oh,
and then I
nice.
have the stock English Canada keyboard, and I have the emoji keyboard, and that's it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. So, how
Oh,
does
the
VoiceOver
emoji keyboard.
handle emojis? Does it just read out like a
It
description?
yeah, it does. It reads out a description of the emoji.
Cool.
Okay, that's actually
So
really cool.
now the only problem with that is when people put like a gazillion emojis in tweets, and they put the same emoji and they put it over and over and over again, and they put a whole bunch of them. It will read the description over and over and over and over and over. So like if it's like,
Smiley
for
face,
example,
smiley face, smiley
no,
face,
no,
smiley face.
they're more detailed than that. So it's like smiling face with squinting eyes. So it'll be like smiling face with squinting eyes, smiling face with squinting eyes, smiling face with squinting eyes, smiling face with. And I'm like,
it kind of takes the
this
fun
is
out
why
of it, huh?
I hate like when people use emojis all the time.
All right,
so-
well, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind too, because I know I use it a lot in iMessage.
Yeah,
I
David,
must
you
make
like the
crazy.
crying emoji. You always use like the
Yeah,
laughing,
the happy
crying
and crying
emoji.
face. Yeah, yeah.
You must have that description memorized.
Happy and
by
crying
now. I use
face.
it so much.
Happy and crying face. Well, I know some of the more common ones, like smiling pile of poo, for example, is one.
That's actually what it's called.
Yeah, it's the
man.
poop emoji, and voiceover's description is smiling pile of poo, like that kind of thing. So they have some interesting emojis. But yeah, no, in terms of Google Keyboard, like I just have no reason to
Yeah.
use it or this tweak. No offense to the tweak developer or anything. It's just because like I don't need pretty pictures, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I probably won't use the Gboard permanently. I am using it now, but I'll probably get frustrated eventually and switch back. So.
So
We'll
what
have to see.
benefits does this Gboard have over like the stock Apple keyboard or like the Google keyboard? What benefits does it have over the stock Apple keyboard? You know what I mean? That's my only thing.
There's like search functions that have been added because obviously Google, their search engine, that's what they're known for. Again, it has the swipe functionality. Like you could swipe from one. You could, for example, if I wanted to type jailbreak, I could just put my finger on the J key, slide to A, I L,
Oh, okay.
BRAEK. It's essentially just like the Android thing brought to iOS,
Yeah,
and there's
okay.
various other benefits. It's just not benefits that a lot of people would find useful, but it's there for that select group of people. But once again, DarkGBoard just provides the dark look to the Gboard, so check it out if that sounds like something you'd like. All right, so next up we have Personal Spotlight. This one's free, and this just allows you to customize Spotlight Search. It contains a plethora of customization options just to kind of make Spotlight Search more relevant to you and just kind of make it work a little bit more the way you want it to. There's tons of switches. There's clear search on dismiss, keyboard, show taps on search, cancel button, exit keyboard. You could disable the camera button, you could disable the pull down gesture or the swipe right, so you could just choose one, or you could completely disable Spotlight Search if you want to.
Ooh.
You could disable apps from being launched. You could disable that show more button. You could
I
hide
feel
the
like I
blur.
would use this to disable Spotlight completely.
I don't know
Really?
if this has been. That came out completely wrong. I was gonna say I don't know if this has been done before, but it seems like a really good idea for a tweak.
Yeah, it is. I actually really like it. I think there have been other tweaks that allow you to do similar things. Maybe Spring Demise? Probably not, though.
It seems
I'm
like
assuming.
something Spring Demise might do, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
do I even have that installed? I don't think I do. But
You don't have Spring Demise installed?
no, I use.
That's like the first thing.
I know.
Well,
I
it's
never
compatible.
install it, and I mean no disrespect to any of the developers of Springtomize or anything like that, but yeah, like I never have Springtomize installed just because I don't know, I just don't see a need for it personally, and and the one thing I don't like is it is quite killer on your battery as well.
Yeah. That and Oxo, I think. Oxo, like, more recently has been a big battery killer.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't use it because there's a few minor things in Spring Demise that I use, but I generally other tweaks could achieve those. You know what I mean? So it's just overkill.
It's not worth downloading the whole huge. Yeah.
But anyways, Personal Spotlight just provides you with a bunch of useful options. Quick note, if you install this, all the switches come pre-toggled on for some reason, and they're not actually on. So what you'll need to do is just go in, disable everything, and then enable the select ones that you want. Personally, I will be using this tweak permanently, because it is just for one single option. I only have one thing toggled on, and that's the clear search on dismiss. So normally when you're searching for something in Spotlight Search, for example, an app, or whatever it is, you tap on your result, it takes you to your result, and then when you go back to Spotlight Search, the
Still there.
It's still there, exactly. This
And
essentially
that's
just
annoying,
clears
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
See,
so
I
that's really
I
cool.
never use Spotlight, so I feel like I
Same.
use this to dismiss it.
Yeah,
I
I
only
love
use I only use Spotlight certain times when I'm being really stupid and I can't find where my app is, where
You
one
can't
of my
remember,
apps
yeah.
is. Yeah. So that's pretty much the only time I'll ever
Yeah.
use Spotlight.
Oh, see, I know my phone so well that I could tell you where every single app on my screen is. Like,
Yeah, that's
and
not
keep
me.
in mind, I have everything in folders, and I have
Yeah.
over 200 apps.
Wow.
That's so crazy.
And I
That
could
takes
tell
memory.
you like where every single app is. So for me, I don't have a huge need for Spotlight because usually if I want to know something, I'll just ask Siri. So like the most common one is area codes I'll use, or like dollar conversions, or like math calculations or that kind of thing, and I'll just ask Siri. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just me personally, but
I occasionally launch apps with it. I don't know why I do, because basically all the apps I use are on my front, home screen. But occasionally there's an app in a folder or whatever I just want to launch, and it always bothers me that it doesn't clear. So that's
yeah,
just one of the
yeah, no,
benefits.
that would be kind of bothersome. So that'd be a nice feature for sure. And this
Yeah.
is free, you said,
It
right?
is free. It's
That's
a really
that's
awesome
very
trick.
impressive. Yeah, I'm very impressed with that.
Definitely. So once again, it's free. It's called Personal Spotlight.
Yeah, I would definitely use this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So next up we have title folder size, and guess what this does.
This
Boy,
allows
I
you
wonder
to
what it
adjust the
does.
folder size or the title, like the size of the title of your folder on the screen.
Bingo. You have a winner. Yeah, it essentially allows you to just have various options that pertain to the size and the text of your folders. So basically, you install it, you go to the settings app, you open up the preferences, and then you have the enable and disable toggles section. There's default size, small text size, smaller title size, even smaller title size, super small title size, extra small title size, big title size, bigger title size, and even big. Even
Even
bigger
big?
title size.
Oh, I
There
thought
we
you
go.
said
Oh,
even
even
big.
bigger title size. Oh man.
You know what? I'm
Oh
gonna
man.
toggle that on because I haven't even done that yet. Like, I just need to see how big this
Oh
is.
my god.
And then there's also a black title folder option if you want to change the color, because I believe it's normally white and it just turns into
Yes.
black. And you could also just completely hide the title folder if you want. So if you just want sleek folders, you could do that. That's really cool. And then you could hide the edit background, like little thing in the folder. It's hard to explain what it is, but
So how does this
it's cool.
tweak like accomplish what it does essentially? Like, because it makes like the folder. What I'm thinking is it makes the text in the folder bigger. So unlike the one, because for a second when I saw the title, I was thinking it could have been the one that like the one that we had talked about previously on a different episode, where it just kind of circulated around, so you could basically say if you wanted to throw in like a bunch of text and a bunch of characters in there.
oh yeah, it actually makes it bigger. It doesn't just like scroll it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So basically, if you just want to customize the title and the text size of, no, sorry, the size and the color of folder titles. Sorry, I've been messing up my words with this tweak for some reason. You could check this tweak out. It's free. Personally, I don't have any need for this just because
Yeah, me
it's
neither.
just such a niche thing. So, David, any thoughts?
Yeah, I don't have any use for this either. It's like one of these things. It's like you can make your. Actually, you know what? I feel like it's one of these things where maybe a theme
Exactly.
might
That's what I was just gonna
change.
say.
Like a themer would definitely benefit from this type of thing. That's what I feel. Like for example, resizing the icons on your springboard. Like I don't really. Even when I have Springboards installed, like I don't play around with this because it's just like I don't really care. It is what it is. Like I like the size of the ones on the 6S, whatever. It looks like a good size. But like some people like to resize it. They like to resize it to fit more apps, to have a certain theme, whatever the case may be. So I think it's probably in this case it would most likely be like really useful for somebody that themes a lot on their device.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. If you have a theme, maybe this could match the theme a little better, and it's free,
Yeah.
so I can't complain. Yeah. So once again, you can get it in Cydia right now. It's called Title Folder Size. And that pretty much wraps up our tweak section for this week.
Awesome. So now we have come to the section where we have our weekly question period, if you will. So do we have any questions, comments in the chat? David, Andy?
We have this one guy that said hi at the beginning of the show, and that was it.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
So
back.
sorry for neglecting you the entire show and not saying hi, but hi.
So I don't know. I think that was a good show. I think we covered a decent amount of stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely. All right. So with that being said, I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks for joining me. And yeah, peace out.
Andy.
What?
Wasn't I the one that's supposed to do the...
I stole your outro.
Yeah, you stole my outro.
Oh,
hello.
Man, I feel so bad. Like I'm gonna go cry into a pillow now. I feel bad.
Well, I was just saying because you were like, all right, peace out. I was like, Andy, hold on a second. Like, I was the one that did the intro. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to do the outro too.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna leave all this in. So, and I just want you to do the outro. So, go do the outro, David. I apologize.
Do you want me to do the outro? Do you give me permission
wholeheartedly
to do the outro?
apologize.
No, we don't. No.
Okay, so we'll
David,
be on
I'm
here
kidding.
for all
We
of
do.
eternity. We'll just keep the broadcast going. I'll never stop streaming.
Yeah, okay,
Streaming
let's do
live.
that. Yeah.
3 hours. Yeah.
I wonder what the Guinness Book of World Records longest stream is.
Probably
I would
like
assume
years.
it's probably like, I don't know. It's
Because
probably
there's
at
like
least-
live streams of like nature stuff. Like
Yeah, it's
it
probably
just goes on
at
forever.
least half the day, maybe more.
Oh no, it's gonna be way longer than half a
Yeah.
day.
Like
A
I know
couple
there's
of
like
days,
a
maybe.
like my parents watch this. It's like this stream of like it's a live stream of like eagles in their nest, and there's like baby eagles or something. You could like watch them grow up, and that literally goes on like all year round. Like it's 24/7 all year round. So.
Well, but does that stream constantly? I feel like there's probably
Yeah.
breaks.
No, it's like it's just there all the time.
That's
It's
actually
crazy.
pretty crazy. Okay, so maybe there's no Guinness World Record. Maybe it's just it. Maybe
Yeah,
it's just
that's it. Like,
yeah. Okay.
It's done.
Well, whatever it is, I gotta head out soon anyway because I gotta go eat. So.
me too. Yeah.
Okay. Well, great show, everybody.
It was a great show. I had
yeah.
fun.
Thank you
Yeah.
for stealing my outro, Andy.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's gonna be our episode title. Thank you for stealing my outro.
All right,
Yeah, okay.
Roger that.
All right. Remember that, Andy. Remember that.
I will.
To do that. Okay.
I'll take a mental note.
Okay. All right, guys. Great show. Thank you, Justin and Andy, so much for being with me today.
My pleasure.
And talking about everything. I always appreciate it. Getting back into this again because we didn't have an episode last week.
Yeah. I love it. It's great.
We kind of just were a bit rusty again getting back into it because we missed a week. So, but I think we did a good job this week.
I do
think we
too.
did.
Like
I
I think
think
it was
it's
one of our best shows.
Yeah. So with that being said, thank you all so much for listening. If you listen live, thank you so much as well. And yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it for now. We will hopefully be back next week. I don't know. I mean, I know hopefully I should be able to come back next week, but Andy, I think you're going to be busy as well next week. Right?
Yeah. I'll be away next week, but hopefully you guys will be able to record, or maybe we can
Yeah.
record at a different time. Yeah.
I think I should be able to. I definitely should be able to next week probably because next week is like the whole week of WWDC, and then I mean it's like June 13th WWDC. After that,
Yeah.
school's over for me, so I should. Be
Yeah,
able
I'm
to
just
be-
gone for next weekend, but I'll be back obviously for WWDC. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys all so much for listening, and see you guys soon.
Peace out.
Peace.